Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 100 of my NHL 20 franchise mode here in the state of hockey. Now, it's been a few days since I've recorded. So the last 5 or 6 episodes I pre-recorded just so I could have a few days off during my little stretch off of work, so I could just recuperate and reinvigorate myself for creating content, because I love putting out stuff for you guys. Episode 100. That's crazy. We're closing in on a year. I know it's a few months away, but September 15th will be a full year of posting a video every day. I know that's a few months down the line, but I am definitely up for the challenge. Now, since it's episode 100, I think we are going to do the full season. We are going to do from the resign phase up until the start of the postseason in 2035. For episode 100, you gotta not go out with a bang, but you gotta celebrate a little bit. There's no time to waste. We have to discuss contracts. Now, I did coaches, I did re-sign some scouts off screen, because you don't need to waste time here. There's no need. Now, I've had a few days to recoup from the absolute shame of a Stanley Cup Finals against the Boston Bruins, where we got reverse swept and I traded Arsenal. I sent him into the sun. Oh my god, that video just went out today, the day I'm recording this video, so it's just the reaction a lot of you guys have given is like, wow, put him on death row, and I traded him away so I don't have to see that name anymore. So that goes to show you how important Pettersson is in the squad. He was having a phenomenal Stanley Cup Finals, and a lot of you probably expected me to be even more mad that episode, but there wasn't so much I could do at the draft. But there is a lot I can do during the re-sign and the rest of the off-season. Now, it has come to my attention that Louis Langweeder is asking for a pretty penny, and I can talk about the draft and the prospects that we got, but you can go back and watch the last episode if you really feel like it. I suggest you do, just to see me rant about a bunch of stuff. It was a video and a half. We didn't get any, phenomenal prospects. We got a few medium elite guys, goaltenders, all the usual stuff. But we have to handle the main roster. Now, I do have my roster sheet set out. There are a few concerns. The majority of the lineup looks exactly the same. But we have to talk about the UFAs and the RFAs. The RFAs, there's a lot of RFAs this year. The best news about that is that we have their contract rights. So we're going to go ahead and start signing them right away. No need to leave them off the board now. I mean, yeah, we'll sign him. Not a big deal. Just the usual stuff. Let's see, we can get him to a 3-year deal. That's good. Might even be a good depth defenseman for us. Zimmer might even be an NHL player for us this year if he gets an off-season jump. I would love for him to get that. Skuin, what does he want? 1.825. I'm going to hold off on that. I know we have $23 million, but the next few years of contracts are going to get rough. We have a lot of big contracts coming up next year that we'll have to worry about, so I'm going to wait. I know $1.8 million is not going to be the death of us, but I just want to see how the other contracts are working out. Prince might be our 4th-line center this year, so I'm going to go ahead and offer him a contract. Hopefully he can be a decent little player for us. How about Brandon McKinnon? $2 million. Now I'm looking at my lineup. See, we have, on our left wing, we have Pietrangelo on the first line, Hudobin, Kreider, Zimmerman. Yes, I know you don't hear Langweeder's name just yet. We'll get into that. But it's up to Zimmerman and McKinnon at this point. McKinnon, I'm not in love with his player type or the way he plays. I mean, he's honestly a really good player, and they're the same age, right? Zimmerman and McKinnon are the same age. Good news is he's an RFA, so we have time to negotiate. Bogulev, I really, really like him. I want to keep him in the lineup. But that's okay. $4 million, almost $6 million between those 3 RFAs right there. And then we have to sign Hudobin. I think first I'm going to get Hudobin out of the way. For 4 years at 9.6, I don't necessarily think he's worth that contract just yet. I really don't. But next year he might even ask for more and more and more and more. 4 years brings him up till he's still an RFA at that age. So that might be the best contract out there, or maybe we go ahead and give him a 1-year deal, just like we've done with a lot of guys before him. I'm honestly kind of debating giving him an $8.5 million contract for 1 year, seeing how he plays next year, and then giving him a long-term deal. We did that with Numanen. We did that with a lot of guys on the squad. Gogolev, because we have Hadar Grossman up next year. We have Pettersson. So we have to be very, very diligent about our contracts next year. I'm going to offer him that 1 year, 0.8 or $8.5 million contract. So that is $8.5 million off the board, right? Okay. Now, let me do some math in my head. Okay. Yeah, I know. This is the way you start out the video, and we got to get the nitty-gritty. Nitty-gritty. So let's start at the bottom of these UFAs. Tikkanen, yeah, we'll sign him. Barnes, we can let him go. Nothing major right there. Amonte might be a depth defenseman for us in the AHL. Moroza, he probably won't want to come back. Cutler, we'll give him a contract. All these guys, just... Oh, Backer doesn't want to come back. We'll let him go. Bobby McFumbles, give him a contract because he's an absolute beauty. 2 years in a row, the Iowa Wild have won the Calder Cup. That's all. Calder Cup? Is that what they call it in the AHL? Pretty sure I'm right. No, Memorial. I was thinking the Memorial Cup. The Calder Cup is the AHL. I'm right. So Javi Bulin has been our 4th line center for a few years now. I think he's a great player. He's definitely overplayed his position. 32 points last year. Everybody had a great season. But $2 million for the 4th line center when we have a guy on a 2-way contract in Prince who might work better there. $2 million, you save a lot of money in that department. So I'm going to go ahead and let him go. Maybe he's out there on the free agency market and we give him a contract. I'm okay with that, but right now I'm not very comfortable with giving him that kind of contract. Now we have a bust prospect in Lamb that didn't turn into anything. We'll give him a contract. He might even be a depth NHL player for us. Danner, if he wants to come back, we'll give him a contract. Hell yeah, bunch of 2-way contracts. Thomas, yeah, all these guys don't want NHL money. Now, I'm going to advance a day, see where everybody's at, and then calculate all the money. So Hudobin signs that 1-year deal. That is huge for us. Get that right out of the way. That is big for us. I'm just going to skip all these guys. It's too much reading. So, a bunch of these guys don't want to come back. Moroza does not want to come back. Cutler does not want to come back, so we won't give him a contract. We can fill out the AHL squad pretty easily. Denner was the scratch or healthy scratch in the NHL the past year and a half or around there. We can easily replace him with Lamb. So if he doesn't want to come back, we're not going to bring him back because we have to have a little bit of a culture change here in Minnesota. We've been a winning team for a very, very long time. We might have to go through a bit of growing pains. So we have $15 million to work with at this very point in time, which is a bit of money. That's a pretty substantial amount of money. Okay, but now we have Louis Langmeter, who costs $11.975 over the next 4 years, and obviously somebody had to go and flush a toilet. Thank you very, very much. I don't think he's worth that kind of money. All the guys in our top 6 are, yeah, I would debate maybe he's worth that money. He's a legit goal scorer in the NHL, but look at all the people making over $10 million on this squad. If you're not sure about all the players that make that much money on this team, there's a lot. Anthony Francis, almost Numanen, Clark. There's a lot of guys. Quinn Hughes. I'm not necessarily willing to give him that contract because next year, Hudobin again, Grossman. You got Hadar. all the young guys that we're going to have to lock up to long-term deals. Numanen again. I am willing to give Langweeder one more year on this squad. 1 year, and we might lose McKinnon, and we can probably get back Bobby Lev, because we also have to discuss the backup goaltending situation, which we'll get to. But $11 million for 1 year. I don't think he's going to want to do this deal, but 11.9. Oh, sorry, I'm not great at math. 11.385 times 0.85 equals under 10. You could say get him to a long-term deal, yada yada yada. We have to be very diligent about our future. I get that. He had a phenomenal postseason run, but we have to be smart about next year. 1 year deal, we can discuss this next year, but there's a high chance that he won't come back next year. There's also a high chance that he doesn't accept this 1 year deal. 9.8 for 1 year. We have to advance a day and see if he comes back. Louis Langweeder. Oh, there's a bunch of scouts. Okay. Come on, scouts. Jang. Edler, come on. I need to see the big boy. Langweeder, come on. Oh, there was a bunch of scouts this year. Audette, okay. Dope. Oh, okay. Doesn't want to join this team. Okay, there's a bunch of coaches that will have to. He's going to reject the contract. He was clear on how long I was willing to stick with the team. You have chosen to offer something different. Do you see where I'm kind of coming from here? $11 million for 4 years, and then we can put him at the 0.85 contract. But next year is where things get really difficult. Hader is coming off of his entry-level deal. Friggin' Grossman, and then Hudobin again. We have to be smart here. Our top six is still looking great. We can even go into free agency and offer him a contract again for 1 year, or anybody else. But I'm not looking at long term. He's a phenomenal player. He's been an all-star with this squad. But I'm not sure I'm willing to give him that kind of contract at this point in time. So he doesn't want to change the year or the amount of years on that contract. So Skooin, 8-year deal? Hell friggin' yeah. 1.850 times 0.85. For a fourth liner, guys, 1.6. Hell yeah. Bring him over. Now it's time to discuss goalies. Now, you've heard all about Arsenal, and we traded him away. Now we have to deal with the backup goaltending situation. Pettersson just proved by getting injured in the Stanley Cup final that he is a legit starter here in Minnesota. That injury cost us the Stanley Cup. And that shows how important he is. There's a lot of goalies that are willing to take his spot on this team. You have Greiba. You have Leighton. You have Zykov. You have Benin. You have Bowie. The one guy I want to give a contract to and see if he can run in the NHL this coming year is DeAndre Moore. He's 20 years of age. I am willing to give him a contract. But first, we have to buy out a goaltender because we don't want to have more than 6 on this squad, so we're going to buy out that fringe guy. Won't cost us anything because if you don't recall in my Columbus Blue Jackets franchise mode, I mentioned this every re-sign phase. But we signed more than 6 goaltenders, and then we lost one of our goalies for an entire calendar year. He was just non-existent, so we don't want that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let me make sure I don't want to lose anybody, especially not one of my major prospect goalies. So Greiba, we're going to offer a contract. 2 years. I'll go up to 3 just to make sure we have him on a cheap deal. DeAndre Moore, who has progressed very, very well. Zykov will give a contract to 3 years. Awesome. So our goaltending situation is shored the hell up. Is shored up, and we are good to go. We keep drafting goalies, great goalies, year in, year out. So RFAs. Now that we're not necessarily bringing back Langleader, Bobby Lev, McKinnon. I'm more of a fan of Bobby Lev. Maybe we get him at 1 year, works for me. He'll be an RFA again next year. 2.05 times 0.85 equals, you can get him under 2. I'll give him 1 point. I'll give him that. McKinnon, I will qualify, but right now I don't necessarily see him in my lineup next year. Louis Langleader, man, I'm not really seeing him on the squad next year. I'm not really willing to give him term at this point in time. Okay, there might have been a few guys there to not want contracts. Bobby Lev doesn't want that contract. We can go up to 2. We can $2 million, even though he might play 4. Oh, Schoon doesn't want that contract. 2 years at point. Yeah, we'll give him that contract. I'm okay with that. Just sign the deals. Make my job easy. We'll give wait, he's playing in the OHL. I'm fine with leaving him off the books. Everybody else can stay there. Okay, did the goalie sign? Goalies did sign. Does me a huge favor right there. Louis Langleader, man, making my job hard. Sim one more day. There's a bunch of scouts. Cool. Bobby Lev and Schoon seem to have signed. McKinnon is qualified. Louis Langleader, man, does he want less money now? He wants more money. Langleader, this hurts. I don't know why I advanced today, but that hurts. I know you took a really big contract risk at the starting of your career with $4.5 million for 8 years. I get why you wouldn't want to come back here. Now, we have a lot of coaching things to discuss in the off season, but I can totally do that off camera. It's not a huge reason to put that on camera anyways. So we can offer him. He doesn't really want that position, but we can offer him a lot of money, right? So while we're offering him money, I can definitely see why Langleader makes sense on this squad, but I also have to be diligent with our money heading into next year and the year after, right? We're paying so many players top-end money. Langleader is a top-end player, but he doesn't want 1 year. And that's where I kind of draw the line. He's not worth the second. If we give him $12 million, that's the second most on this squad. I'm sorry, he's just not worth that kind of money. It's just a fact. So, Louis Langleader, enjoy free agency, man. Audette is not interested in joining this job title. Cool, we'll just deal with that in the offseason, no problem. I'm okay with it off camera. Doesn't even matter. So we have 41 contracts. Is there anything big out in free agency? Maybe we try something. Okay, there seems to be a few top tier players out here. Langleader is the second best, but he wants 6 years now. So he wanted a long-term deal. We weren't really willing to give him that kind of deal. Jack Hughes is out there. Anybody want a 1 year deal? Not really. Okay, so I can move things around, so let me just do this on my sheet of paper. Gogolev, Newman can go up to the top line. Hudobin can stay there on the second. Gogolev can get up to the second line. Now we're kind of looking for a third line center. That's kind of what we're looking for right this minute. So with third lines, do we go out and sign Connor McDavid for 1 year? We could totally get him for. Are you kidding me? We should totally sign Connor McDavid. Or do we go be more diligent, just go out and get a third line center, like he's a second. Hold on, so his second, first. Rupe Heinz is a first line. Marsh is a third line. How much does he want? $5 million? No, thank you. Villiers, Bemstrom. There's a bunch of centers out here. I don't want to go too low in overall. Do we make one more big run at the Stanley Cup? I mean, we should. I mean, obviously we should. Any goalies out here? Cody Tallender. Jaden Weeman. I'm fine with going with either of the guys that we were looking at in our prospect pool for the backup goaltending situation next year. I'm fine with that. Any big goalies out here? Kozanov, but we already have so many goalies, it's not even fair. Any prospects? Oh, Tulipov. He's probably... Yeah, he's an Arizona Coyotes prospect. Yeah. Well... do we... Former 3rd overall pick. Gustavs Tulipov. Man, this might be a longer video than I originally thought. Huh. Kolyakovo, see, he didn't turn in anything special. Ooh, du Champlain. Okay, so if we offer him that contract... How many... That's only a 2nd round pick? Remember, we have 2 1st round picks this year. We have Detroit's and our own. I'll go 1 year. 1 year at... What's 5? What would 5 cost? Only a 2nd. Tulipov would totally work up there. 5.5? 1st and a 3rd. For 1 year, then we sign him next year. He might even be just a good addition to the squad. This year he could play... He's kind of a replacement for Louis Langweeder. He's 9 years younger. I really like this kid. 20 years of age. He was decent last year. Not the best defensively, but Arizona probably wasn't the greatest of teams. You know what? I'm willing to take a risk on that. I rarely ever qualify. I never. Especially for a top-tier prospect like this. And then we won't have to move Gogolev. He was really good on the 3rd line last year, as it was, sorry. That makes perfect sense. Hudobin can play... Yeah, that... 1 year at 5.5. And then we'll have $10 million, or 10 around there $1 million to work with. Do we go ahead and give him the 2 years? Or do we give him the 1? If we're going with our plan next year, if we're giving up a 1st, do we go 1 or 2 years? We have to stick with the plan, though. I'll go 1 year, and then we can settle it out next year. So 1st and a 3rd. But how long? How much farther can I go with the 1st and a 3rd? 6. 1st and a 3rd. Keep it going. Keep it. I know I could look at the compensation sheet, but I really don't feel like it. 1st and a 3rd. Come on. I want to make sure Arizona has no ability to get him, and they just take the compensation. 1st and a 3rd. Hey, I'm willing to give up a 1st and a 3rd. Man, yeah, I can keep this going all day. 1 year, this is exactly what we were looking for. 1st, 2nd, and a 3rd. You know, honestly, this kind of player, are you going to get that kind of guy in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round? We're going to be a great team. We have Detroit's pick. I'm 1 year at $8 million. Yeah, let's see if Arizona matches that. Okay, so now we don't have to look for a 3rd line center. That's pretty good. I'm okay with that. Let's see. Let me make sure. Honestly, I think we're okay. How much money does Arizona have to spend? A lot of money. Damn, they're gonna sign him back. Yeah. They also have Radulov out there to sign. They are a rebuilder. They could use a bunch of picks, but that's a young guy that they could use. I'm not sure. Would it take our own first? Or would it just take any first? Because I'm okay with it either way. We're okay. I think we're good for the offseason as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and just simulate a few days and see where we're at with this Tulipov contract. top tier guy. Obviously, he should definitely sign this contract. Tulipov has decided to accept our offer, but the deal is not done yet. Arizona has to qualify or has to match that offer. And he could be back out in free agency next year, right? Does Arizona sign that contract? Ah, damn it. Oh, that messes. I put too many eggs in one basket. Tulipov has decided to go with the Arizona Coyotes for 1 year at $8 million. Maybe we did them a favor, you know? Do we go with Radulov? Do we go with their other prospect? No. You know what? I'm really feeling Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid on this squad for 1 year? Let's do it. Let's do it. 1 year? I'll go up to $10 million. I'll do whatever. Connor, you want $11 million for 1 year to play on the Minnesota Wild? Oh, you want to win a Stanley Cup, buddy? Even though you probably already have won one? 1-1. Wow. Fun time. So, I think he should definitely sign that contract. Connor McDavid, come over to the Minnesota Wild. Come to the dark side. Connor McDavid is a Minnesota Wild. So we're just gonna start the next regular season. So give me a few minutes, or I guess a few seconds in your eyes, to get the off season over with, scouts, all that jazz, coaches, and set up the lineups for next year. Okay, so we are back into the regular season. I have simmed a game into the preseason just so I could get the AHL squad filled out with a bunch of mid-tier free agents just so they can try to three-peat in the AHL for a championship. Now, honestly, going into this year, losing Langleader without the knowledge of knowing we would get Connor McDavid, I know, right? 37 years of age, I'm sure he's still a beauty. I wasn't sure this team was going to fit like a perfect puzzle. But honestly, there is no time to waste. Let me show you the 2034-2035 Minnesota Wild. Now, you might be wondering, well, there's no pluses on the bottom lines here. Well, honestly, all around, they look like two really good lines. I don't think pluses are going to change this squad too much. I think individual performances are going to win this team games during the regular season. Come the playoffs, we can mess around with it, maybe. But this is the best squad I could come up with. Obviously, we have to talk about the first line. Anthony Francis, Pietrangelo, two of the best players in franchise history. And they are going to be playing with Hudobin. Hudobin, for the second straight year, is getting first line time. It is debatable. You could say Numanen. Yeah, Numanen. I think Numanen is going to help out Haydar and Connor McDavid a lot. I think that trio right there can rival the first line in points. I think they can do some damage, and I really hope they do. I think these first two lines are going to be stellar. Third line, well, let's talk about Connor McDavid. You know, his number is 97. He should wear that his entire career. But if you don't know, we had a 97 on this team since we started this franchise mode. Kirill Kaprizov. In my head, I retired the number so nobody else could wear 97. So he went back to his World Juniors number 17. So I thought, you know what, let's give him number 17. It works. I like it. So that top six is phenomenal. Third and fourth line, I think, are really good. There's some new faces. Kreider's getting older. Skuen got a great off-season jump. He was 79 at the end of the postseason. He's now an 83 overall. I love that from him. He had a great regular season and even better postseason. I'm really happy to see that. Gogolev is on the third line again, but I still think he can be a really good third liner. I'm hoping for the same production. Fourth line, Prince is a different fourth line center this year, but McKinnon and Bobbylev should be able to help him out. So that's it for the forward core. Defense. Quinn Hughes, the captain, Captain Quinn Hughes, is getting older. 34 years of age. He's going to be 35 during this season. He is currently at 1,300 points on the dot. I'm assuming sooner or later he is going to drop off from a point-per-game player. But I'm just happy he has Brant Clark, the last Minnesota Wild to win the Norris. Last year, I believe Cale Makar won it. But, you know, how these two guys have performed over the last decade, they should be A-okay. Second pairing. Grossman, I decided to put into the top 4. You could debate Harry Parrish should go there because then everybody's a plus player. Grossman is 4 years younger, and I think he's going to be a better player. He was the second overall pick. We need to treat him right. He's getting a lot of special team time, but I think Parrish is also getting a lot of power play, penalty kill, all that jazz. I think he should be okay there. If we need to switch it up once in a while, we will, but Grossman needs to get the time. He needs to progress right now, especially if Quinn Hughes starts to take a dip. Bissonnette is Bissonnette. He's an absolute beauty. Enlund, he's young, 20 years of age. He'll be 21 soon. I really, really like him, but hopefully he progresses. We'll see. Let's talk about the power play and penalty kill. +3 on that first power play. Connor McDavid on the Minnesota Wild. You never thought you'd see that. We've met him a few times in the postseason. Hopefully they can do some damage. Second power play, Haydar, Gogolev, and Hudobin giving it to the young kids. Hopefully they can go out there and lay down the pain. 4-man is also looking really good. Not much more to say about that. Penalty kill is where things get a little interesting. 4-man is looking great. It's looking really good. Grossman's getting time. They all should be really good. 3-on-3 is the best I could get. This is the absolute best. I put the best players out there. It's really trust me, I tried every player on the squad. Nothing changed it. Hopefully they perform well. Our penalty kill is usually really good. 3-man penalty kill is way less important because you rarely go down 5-on-3. So we should be fine. Special extra lines. 4-on-4. 4-on-4 continued. Harrison Haydar, I'm expecting a good season. 3-on-3, don't want to play them in overtime. Extra attacker Anthony Francis and Petrangelov. And the shootout. Don't want to mess with them. Talk about the goaltending. Now, we debated maybe we get one of the younger guys. Pettersson is the starter, no doubt. He has won that spot for a very long time. Theo Greiba, and there were a few other guys that I was debating. Greiba kind of got my attention because he has a better puck control category. His poise is probably better than the rest of the goalies in the AHL, so I decided, you know what, let's give it to Greiba. It's probably only a one-year thing, but maybe his value will go up and we can trade him for something good. Scratch players, you got Lee Lamb and then Retzer as the two healthy scratches in the NHL. This lineup is really good. You might have some... You might debate something like, hey, that's not the best. You might want to change that. I agree. But for right now, this is the best I could get it. I know you could say change coaches, but we win so much and win so many Stanley Cups. I think we'll have to wait just a minute. Wait until things start to take a turn for the worst. But this team should do well. Let's talk about the AHL. The AHL is pretty solid. I'm not going to go into special teams because they're kind of automatic at this point. There's a few notable prospects. You got Albert Schausser, who's 21, 79 overall. He'll probably be a solid NHL player for us one day. Why did I press back? I don't know why. Of course. Why wouldn't I? You got Olas, who is a low top 6 forward. He's 21 at 78. He might be a good player for us one day. Zimmerman's also noticeable. De La Rovere is 21. I might actually... yeah, I'll move him up there. Second line. Second line is good for him. And then you got Thomas, who's 25, and Koskinen, who is also in the same spot. Defense is pretty automatic at this point. You got Lawrence Webb, and then you got Brent Perez, who I feel bad that he can't get an NHL spot because of how well Enlund performed. But if there's an injury or two, he'll probably get a spot. Karppinen, and then you got Cronwall. Almonte is also 21 at low elite, and then Muller is just the older guy. Goaltending, I decided to scratch... Who did I scratch? I scratched Leighton, who is also an 80 overall, who could be the NHL backup instead of Greiba. But I thought, well, I'd rather play a younger goalie in Zykov, 22, who's also a medium elite. And more, I want him to be the official starter of the Iowa Wild. I want him to grow very quickly and potentially be our starter very, very soon. Now, before we start simulating, I want to check a few contracts because there are a lot up this season. Connor McDavid probably won't come back, so we won't have to worry about that. Newman is the biggest contract at this point. 6 years at $13 million. That's a lot of money. I'm willing to wait on that. Obviously, I want to bring him back, but we lost Langmeter because of this fact, because we have to sign all these guys. Harrison Hadar, 4 years. 8 years, he wants 12. You know what? I'm willing to wait until the middle of the season and then see where we can go from there. But let's start the regular season simulation. We have Detroit's first round pick this year that we have to consider. I'm planning on doing the entire season simulation this year. This episode, sorry. Obviously this year. Duh. Because episode 100, everybody. So that means we're not going to be checking the stats every single month unless something goes terribly wrong and we want to make sure everything's going okay. But at this point in time, we want to roll through the season since this franchise mode is rolling down. Not rolling down. What's the word I'm trying to look for? Is slowly progressively... I can't think of the word. It's going to end sooner or later. And I'm not trying to speed up the process, but I want to get through it to start my other franchise mode. Not saying I don't love this. I just want to see how this team turns out. You know, all these players are getting older. We have a lot of young guys. Albert Schauer got hurt. Awesome. Schauser. Oh no, injuries are starting. Brandon McKinnon is hurt. What the hell was that? Okay, that means Lee Lamb's getting in the lineup. That should be fine. Anaheim to start the season. OT win. Fans get their money's worth. 9-1 victory over the Chicago Blackhawks. This team should probably be automatic. We should probably be A-okay. That's why I'm kind of doing just the one episode sort of thing for the entire year. I don't know what year this is. I guess I'll have to do that on my off time and see how far we're into this franchise mode, because I am terrible at math. But let's just keep it going. 7-5 win over the Vancouver Canucks. Montreal and Columbus. Hell yeah. View draft class. We do have Detroit's first round pick. The top rated prospect this year is Dan Reed. What a basic name. You have Robichaud. You got Fontenos. You got Knubel and Steen. So the top five's looking really nice. Maybe we luck into a top tier player this year. You never know. We are first place in our division so far. Keep it going, Minnesota. No regulation losses. Keep it going, Minnesota. Keep it going. 6-0-1 Vegas Golden Knights. 6-5 shootout win. Hell yeah. I'll take a shootout victory each and every day of the week. Connor Bobulev has been hurt in the AHL, or in the NHL. Why did I think the AHL? November 9th? Ooh, that sucks. You know, we'll go Lee Lamb. It's a fourth line. I'm not super concerned about the fourth line as it is. Oh my god, we're getting a lot of injuries so far. Head coach plays player. My god. 8-0-1. Can we finish the month undefeated in regulation? Buffalo. Hell yeah, we did. 9-0-1. I'm just going to back out real quick and see if we have any crazy point total so far. Cal Newman on a contract year is lighting the league up. So are we first place in the NHL? We are by 2 points. The Sharks, and we have we've played 10 games, so we have 3 games at hand. So we're first place in the NHL by not a wide margin, but we'll probably win the President's Trophy again. Probably. I'm not too worried. 9-0-1. Can we keep the streak going? Hell yeah, Minnesota. Keep it going, boys. Tampa Bay Lightning, big victory there. Goalies aren't doing too shabby. Philip Sedgis. I'm terrible at pronunciating things. Oh my god. Pittsburgh. Connor Bobulev is back. Welcome back, bud. Fourth line. Hopefully everybody's doing well so far. Harrison Hadar. He's doing pretty good. Hell yeah, Harrison. Hell yeah, Harrison. Bobulev, welcome back to the club. How? Oh, 2 points and not great. McKinnon, Prince, fourth line. not having a bit of difficulties. We lose our first regulation loss. We have our first regulation loss of the season, which sucks. A lot of players are back to play in the AHL. Ulrich is going to come out for Albert Schausser. Welcome back to the squad. Anybody else of importance? Not really looking like it. Defense? No, we're A-okay. We're good. We're good. Toronto? Come on, beat the Leafs. Oh, Albert Schausser, you... I love when that happens this game. When they say they're healthy and then they get hurt, the game they come back. Love that. You know how many times that's happened? A lot. One regulation loss. Make that 2 of, obviously St. Louis had to beat us. Carolina, make that a W. Get back on your winning ways. Toronto again. Our season finale against the Leafs, and we beat them. Hell yeah. New Jersey Devils, few Metropolitan Division teams. Oh my god, the injuries are coming fast. Thank god it's Iowa. Did I just jinx myself? Probably. Long Eastern Conference trip right here, but it should be over and we sweep the East while we're here. Let's get back to the Western Conference. Cronwall is back in the AHL. And where did he play? Oh, Chuck Owens. Let's get him out. Cronwall might even be a decent NHL player for us one day. I mean, he's 21 at top 6 potential. Maybe a depth guy for us one day, especially with Cap coming to rear its ugly head yet again. Are we going to finish the month well? December 1st underway, and wow, 23-2-1. Great month of play. Anthony Francis has gone off. Are we first place in the NHL? Oh, by a wide margin. Hell yes. You know what? We're 2 months in. Let's go ahead and check out the stats. See who's not performing, see who is performing. But it looks like everybody's pitching in. Probably. Maybe. Let's look. Anthony Francis, obviously leading this team in points. I'm hoping he's in the run for a few awards this year. Maybe. What? Is he potentially hitting any milestones this year? Probably hit 1,600 points. He just hit 1,000 games. He probably hit, he obviously hit 1,500 points before 1,000 games, which is phenomenal. He's con for 2,000 points, baby. Petrangelov is actually leading the team in goals with 24. Good for him. Harrison Hadar is having a great season. Now, the second line looks to be having some defensive troubles. Newman is a -7. McDavid is a -2. I kind of figured that would happen, but I know they're so offensively dominant that they're going to be really impressive during the postseason, hopefully. Here's hoping. So, second line is doing pretty good offensively. Kel Newman is scoring a lot of goals, and Harris and Hadar and McDavid are assisting a lot. So, I'm okay with that. I'm assuming their defense is going to get better throughout the season. Hudobin is a point-per-game player on that first line. I knew he was going to be a point-per-game player. I just knew it was only going to take a matter of time. I'm glad to see he's performing well. Is Newman a first-line forward? No, he's not. No, wait. I checked the wrong player. Newman is a first-line forward. Do we split up? Do we put Newman on the first line? We're winning games. Gogolev's doing really well on that third line. Schoon on the third, 19 points, 10 goals, performing really, really well. Don Kreider, man, when we picked him up from Buffalo, we thought he was going to be a major change for this team. Hasn't been very impressive during his career so far. I don't really blame him, but Schoon was the guy behind him where I'm thought, okay, Kreider's going to take over. Schoon is going to kind of fall back, but they're both really, really young, but they both need to continue to progress. The fourth line is having some troubles, not gonna lie. Defensively, they've been iffy. A lot of penalty minutes shared between them, except for Prince. Maybe we change that fourth line center down the road, but for right now, we're winning so many games, I don't really see the point. Defenseman. Oh yeah, Brant Clark with 25 assists on the dot. Almost a point per game. Quinn Hughes is so good. 35 years of age, the captain does not stop for anything. Bissonnette with 24. So our top 3 defensemen are just going off. They're crazy good. Our best plus-minus guy right now is Grossman with a plus 35. Now, that first pairing is taking a beating defensively. -7 for Brant Clark. I'm assuming it's going to get better throughout the season. I think the goalies are having a bad stretch. But I'm sure things will work out there. We've played them so many years together that they should work out. Grossman's been really good. Parrish has been really good. Enlund hasn't been too shabby. So the defense is looking really good. Goaltending. Yeah, Pettersson hasn't been the best, but we know how important he is in the postseason, and why would we trade him, right? We have goaltenders in the system. Like, how is Moore doing? Moore's doing really well in the AHL. I know it's the AHL. He is technically a backup goalie, but it's 1 year in the AHL. I think he just turned 21. He'll be 22 when we start the NHL season next year. So, I mean, both of our goalies are doing not the greatest, but Theo Greiba's 7-0. So they're all winning games. I'm not going to check out the entire league stats just yet, but I do want to see how Detroit's doing. Detroit Red Wings, how are they doing? Detroit is first place in their division. No, Detroit, no. It's whatever. They're not going to win any playoff games anytime soon. So we're 23-2-1. Plan is to finish the regular season this episode. So let's keep it going. Let's get through the month of December and head into the new year. 2035 is almost underway. See how this month goes. San Jose, Calgary, LA, Edmonton, Vancouver, and LA, and a bunch of Western teams in this month. View draft class. Have our scouts done any work so far? Nope, obviously not. I'm not too worried about the top 5 as long as they find some nice players along the way. I mean, obviously, you have the same scouts from a few years ago and they don't do their jobs, but it's whatever. Buffalo. Was that a victory or was it a loss? I'm so confused. Oh, simulating. What is going on here? Albert Schauer's back. Please, Albert Schauer, please don't get hurt. For the love of God, man. Please don't get hurt. I really, really like you as a prospect. This would suck for us if you got hurt again. Let's keep it going. Minnesota. What's going on here on January 1st? Oh, it's the end of... What the... Bobby McFumbles. What's going on? Head coach replaces player. Stop simulation. What is going on? Okay, okay. Oh, why didn't it show us that? Okay, I was wondering. It's like, why does it show the Buffalo thing? It was all the way down there. So, what we've missed so far... We lost to Edmonton, but other than that, we're winning. So I think we're A-okay. Let's keep simming. Okay, I wasn't sure what's going on. 28-3-1. See if we can finish this month strong, and we keep whooping some teams. Western Conference has nothing on us. Arizona, big W right there. Colorado, lost there. 2 regulation losses in the month. See if we can get out of the month clean. Nashville Predators, big W. Same with the New Jersey Devils, our only Eastern Conference matchup this month. And Buffalo. Buffalo. Bobby McFumbles is back. Absolute beauty. Welcome back to the squad. Welcome back to the AHL. I'm not even sure how long this episode is supposed to be, but hey, it's whatever. You're here. If you're here at this point in the episode, say, say Bobby Ryan, because the Ottawa Senators just fired their head coach. Say Bobby Ryan if you're still here during the episode. Okay? I'll know who the real fans are. 34-4-1. We just beat, I would say, a rival. We have a lot of history with the Buffalo Sabres to end the month of December. 34-4-1. We are leading the league in every aspect, so you know what? Let's go one more month. Let's head up to the trade, or close to the trade deadline. Check out the stats, all that jazz, because we're automatic at this point. We know we're going to be in for some award races. I know this team is pretty automatic. Maybe we look for a fourth-line center until we start taking a turn for the worst. Hopefully that doesn't start anytime soon. A lot of AHL injuries, my God. What was I saying? Don Craig. Jeez Louise, I didn't turn the injury slider up. January 13th, Lee Lamb can get in for the third line. I'm okay with that. We're winning games as it is. I'm not too worried. Chicago whooped them. Winnipeg, Don Kreider is back. Welcome back to the squad. He probably hasn't been the best so far. Lee Lamb, in the games that you played, 2 points -1. What a stud. What an absolute stud. What a stud. Victor Thomas is back in the AHL. Sure, we'll get him back down there. Zinger? What a name. My God. Zinger. Thomas, welcome back to the squad. Winnipeg, 6-4 victory. Hopefully Detroit's taking a turn for the worse. Can we hit 40 wins here? Oh, we're going to do it against Winnipeg. Come on, Winnipeg. I mean, dang it, I jinxed myself. Ottawa, let's beat the Senators. Damn it, 2 regulation losses in a row. That's the first time we've done that this entire season. And we get back to our winning ways against the Vegas Golden Knights. 7 losses on the season, and it's All-Star break. Thank you, EA, for not including the All-Star break. Really appreciate it. You know how easy it would be to implement that? I'm just saying, multi-million-dollar corporation, and they can't do that for 1 game. Nashville trades for a center in C. Lockhart, 82 overall. San Jose gets Ross and Rivera. Okay, cool. And we will be here at the end of January. So that is good. Good. We're almost in February, basically there. 79 points for Anthony Francis over halfway through the season. He's having a great year. We are first place in the NHL, no doubt about it. Rangers. Red Wings are first in their division, not by a lot. They could totally fall out if they go on a spin there. Hopefully they do. Very close in the Eastern Conference this year. Good for them. So let's start. I want to see how our power play and penalty kill are doing so far. So, 240 goals. It's probably first in the league. Goals against, not too shabby. Could be worse. Power play's 36%. And our penalty kills, 75. I'm assuming it's middle of the pack. Could be better, but I think we're A-okay. So, let's go ahead. You know what? Let's start with goalies first. Pettersson is not putting up the best individual numbers, but he's winning a lot of games. Both goalies have a great winning percentage. Could be better, though. They both could be a lot better. But they're winning games. I know this team is going to give up a lot of goals, even though we have the best defense in the world. I don't know. It's EA. I don't make the rules. Could be better. I hope he gets up to a 900 before the end of the year. I hope he does. Defense. Bissonnette. Bissonnette is leading the defenseman in points. That is very, very strange. Huh. You know, I think all these 3 guys are going to be top of the league in defensive points, but I feel like there's going to be 1 or 2 players right in front of them that are going to steal the Norris, because Bissonnette, he has the same plus-minus as he has points. He is running away with, not running away with it, but he's been very impressive. He continues to win my heart over. Quinn Hughes, what else is there to say? I think he's going to be around 70 points this season. Maybe he hits 80, but he's a beauty either way. He's been so good for us for so long. Same for Brandt Clark. He's a few years younger, but they're putting up a bunch of points. Matthias Grossman, we give him the time, and he is succeeding. 13 goals. Are we going to see a 20-goal season from a defenseman on the squad? He's 6'5". 21. Why did I say it like that? 216 pounds. He's a machine. He's a great player, and I'm glad we put him in the top 4. Parrish is having a good season. Emlin's not even doing that bad. I like to see that. How about the forwards? Francis, what else is there to say? 37 goals from both Francis and Pietrangelo. Is Pietrangelo around any milestones? He'll hit 1,400 this year. Just hit 1,100 games. He's almost at 700 goals. My God. 2 first ballot Hall of Famers on this squad? Oh, 100%. Francis is incoming on 1,000 assists. He's a beauty. Not much more to say about that. He's very close to 1,600 points, and he is going to do it very, very quickly. But we talk about them so much. Let's give some credit to Kel Newman, which I think I'm going to check contracts right after we check the screen, is doing great. Almost 30 goals. He'll probably have a 40-goal season. Connor McDavid with 52 points. Not doing too shabby. Hudobin on that first line, putting up 20 goals. That is what I like to see. The best plus-minus among the forwards, as it looks like. Having a good season for himself. Harrison Hadar, 46 points in 49 games. Not too shabby. I know the second line is having a bit of trouble, but I think going to the playoffs, they should be okay. He's on the same pace as what he had. He's over pacing what he had last year. That's the right sentence, Owen. There you go. You should be proud of yourself. Gogolev's not doing too bad on that third line. Why do I keep saying fourth? Third line. I know it's bad for him to be there on the third line, but there's no other option. I know you could have said, oh, don't sign Connor McDavid. But it's Gogolev, man. What are you... Well, come on, man. Don't hate me. It's Connor McDavid. When you have the chance to sign Connor McDavid, you do it. That's a fact. He's going to be a producer for us in the postseason. Schoon. I like what I see from him. 28 points, 49 games, 16 assists, probably a 20-goal season from him. Bobby-Lev with 12, not too shabby. Kreider with 11. You could say he should probably be getting power play time. Probably. We'll look into that. Getting closer to the postseason. Prince, 10, -4. They're getting better slowly. Fourth line is never going to be the best thing in the world, but we're winning games. So, let's check out the entire league briefly and then check the, what do you call it? The contract screen. So, leading the league in points, Shane Wright. Damn. Vadim Slidechek for the Islanders. Oh, Shane Wright's on the LA Kings. Maybe they can get past Winnipeg for first time in a long time. Francis is up there, but he's going to have to make some ground here. He has played 3 more games than Francis, but it is a close race at the top. Connor Von Sieg, Zenit Corvo, Peter Reynolds, Oscar Payne, Austin Matthews. Petrangelov is up there as well. Lydecker, Hunt. Wait, is Lydecker still with Anaheim? Yes, he is. Woodworth. Woodworth. How's he doing in his career? Almost 1,000 points. He'd be doing better if he was a Columbus Blue Jacket. But that's all I'm saying. That's just a fact. Barkov. Yeah, a bunch of guys up here. Louis Langmeter is with the... Oh, so you're telling me the guy that we tried to sign in the offseason, we offer sheeted Tulipov from the Arizona Coyotes. Arizona matches our offer, and they also signed Louis Langmeter. Wow. Manny's put up 46 goals. He's going to be like a 60-goal scorer this season. I'm happy for him. He would have never have gotten the time on this squad. I'm happy for him. He's in the same conference, though, so he can... No, I'm not going to say anything rude. He deserves it. LaRoche, a lot of guys up here. A lot of point scorers. Best goal scorer in the league right now is Zenit Corvo. I believe he's won 1 or 2 Maurice Richard trophies in his career. Shane Wright, Langmeter are all up there. I'm cheering for Langmeter personally, but you never know. Defense, what's it looking like? Defense. Matteo Jogren. So see, you have Bissonnette, Quinn Hughes, Brant Clark are all there, but there's a few guys ahead of him. I mean, if Bissonnette keeps it going, he has the best plus-minus amongst all of them, he has a chance. Goaltenders. Christian Pettersson has the most wins in the league, but Simic of the Winnipeg Jets is having a phenomenal season. It's his Vezina to lose. So, right now, we're in the running for a few awards. There's only one award I really care about, and that's the Stanley Cup. We can win the President's Trophy so many times, right? Only one more award I care about. So let's look at the contracts real quick. How much does Kel Newman want right now? 13. It went up. Oh, that's lovely. Hudobin? 11. I think it went up. Oh, damn it. Harrison Hadar. 8 for 3 years. Ugh, damn. Grossman? 12. Oh, damn it. Okay. Bobby-Lev doesn't even want a contract extension. How much money do we have at the end of this year? Only $29 million. We're going to lose somebody else. We are going to lose somebody else. Who is it going to be? I have no idea who is it going to be. Maybe Quinn Hughes takes one for the team and retires? I'm not saying he should retire. I'm just saying if it happens, it happens. Yeah, we have a lot of problems in the offseason. I'm going to wait for contracts just for a little bit, just to see. Maybe a few of them will take a little bit of a cut. You never know. But let's go up here let's go up just before the trade deadline, just before the St. Louis game, and see if we need to. I'll check the trade block and see if there's any decent fourth line centers, because I'm not the biggest fan of Prince. Maybe there's somebody out there. You never know. We'll check that out closer to the deadline. 44 wins, 8 regulation losses, 1 overtime loss. Keep it going. Keep it going, Minnesota. Just win some games. Trade alert. Martin Necas to the, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, and Vero to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus making some moves. Philadelphia gets Jolson and Fitzpatrick. EA, I also have another wish list idea. I should do a video about my wish list for NHL 21. I'm assuming it's going to be a terrible game, because remember the last time the NHL games went to next gen? I miss NHL 14. I miss it very much. What was I saying? Oh, EA. For this trade screen, I've said it plenty of times, why don't you add potential, like, how their season's going, so I don't have to go into another screen and check it out. It just makes it like a trade deadline alert. Like, it make things so much cooler. Like, come on, EA. It just go the extra mile. It'd make the games so much better if you add a little bit of detail. Because you look at games like MLB, which I should, if you're interested in an MLB franchise mode, franchise mode, shoot me a comment if you're interested in it. If you want to see a team done, I'm totally interested in doing it. I've just never had the time to do it. Gogolev, I'm going to try to persuade you. Or NBA, if you want to see that sort of thing. Just shoot me a comment. You know the comment to say, it's Bobby Ryan. I don't know why Bobby Ryan, but sure. Detroit Red Wings, 5-4 victory. The dumpster fire, even though they're doing pretty well, they're first place in the Atlantic. For once in their entire franchise, in a very long time, it's been close to 20 years, I'm assuming. So, we are basically at the deadline, almost 50 wins. We're doing pretty well. I'm going to look at a few players. Oh, Francis is almost at 100 points. Damn, he's good. Oh, we already know that. That's a fact. That's a fact. So, a few guys. Prince, how are you? He doesn't look like the worst defensive player, but he's a playmaker, and playmakers rarely ever work on the fourth line. So maybe we look for a power forward, a two-way forward. I'm not sure. But let's just check out the trade block. See if anything is interesting out there. Wow, Jaden Weeman is on the Ducks. Wow, good for him. I'm sure he's doing fine. He's making plenty of money. I don't feel bad for him. We won cups here with him. He's a bane of my existence. Okay, is there anything out here? Oh wait, hold on. I gotta make sure to keep an eye, because they're usually lower value. So nothing here. I saw a sentiment up there. Shane Bowers, $4 million. We don't really have a lot of money to play with right now, so we have to be diligent at that. Maybe it's a two-way contract, which would be optimal for us, but might as well just check, see what the trade deadline is looking for every other team. Ryan Merkley. Wow, $13 million? Probably not worth it. $7 million for Dylan Strome? No. Is there gonna be a decent centerman out here anywhere? Come on. Does a team have my back here? I mean, you got Sekras, who's a third liner. I'm not necessarily. Ooh, it says he's a offensive line 4 on the lines he was scouted. Says he'd probably be good on our bottom 6. Maybe a good penalty killer. What's his giveaway to takeaway ratio? He's playing on a terrible team. Pretty good for the last few years. He's been a pretty good giveaway to takeaway ratio guy. So, so I thought my recording stopped. I almost got so upset. I'm like, don't make me do it again. So I'll put a pin in it. Sekaras from Montreal. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Montreal. Any other interesting players out here? Anything. Montreal's the only kind of... Maybe we just grab them for depth because we know there's a lot of injuries. Maybe that's the thing we do. I'm not sure. We don't have a lot of cap space. So there doesn't seem to be a whole lot out here. Or depth pieces out here. Maybe we messed up and waited too long. But... wow, Sam Steele for $11 million at 37 years of age. Yikes! Okay, Gabe Velarde, no. Oh, wait, we got a two-way contract in Nikolish, and no idea what this guy is like. 1 year, he's a centerman, he's 6'4". Oh, giveaway to takeaway ratio in the AHL is 19-46. I really like that. Washington. Is there anything on Winnipeg? Nothing. So, I kind of like that guy as a depth guy. For the playoffs, they're a rebuilder. We just give them a pick or two. A pick would probably do it. Would you do it for a fourth? More than 50 players in our organization. Would you take a depth player from the AHL? Wow, I really don't have a lot. We'll give you McLaren and take back the fourth. Oh, right, he's unsigned. Duh, I'm stupid. I always do that. Okay, do you want, what are you feeling? Do you feeling anything? Unsigned guy? Is there anything? Chuck Owens? He's low elite. It makes more sense. Maybe we get a fourth out of them. It's a younger guy. They might like that. Maybe a sixth. Trade accepted. Welcome to the club. I like that trade. We got a depth guy. He might even, maybe he fits in better. You could have said, maybe, why didn't you just pull up somebody from the AHL? AHL's doing fine. We're good. Nikolish, are you doing good? He's 30 years of age. We didn't trade that much. Chuck Owens wasn't anything special. Maybe he'll be good. We don't know, but I want to see maybe that changes up our fourth line and helps us out a bit. I'm not even going to check the stats heading down the... Maybe if we start heating up, maybe. But we're almost at 50 wins here at the deadline. Let's just keep it going, Minnesota. Great season so far. We're automatic. No reason to split this up into 2 episodes. This is gonna be like an hour-long episode. I'm not even sure how many minutes we're at during the episode so far. Alex Turcotte to the New York Rangers. Big trade. Philadelphia acquires a first, Livingston, and a 6th-round pick. New York is trying to make a run at it. Keep it going, Minnesota. 4-2 regulation loss against the Winnipeg Jets. We're almost at 10 on the season. Keep it going, boys. Keep it going. Renaud's 83 overall goalie to the Calgary Flames in Toronto acquires 2 seconds. Not a bad trade for Toronto. Toronto. Sorry, I'm Canadian. I know how to pronounce Toronto. Okay. 5-2 loss to the Avalanche. I'm okay with just simming through the end of the season. I'm okay with that. I'm A-okay with that. Shootout loss. Please don't let that trade be the death of me. The 4th line center should not change this team too much. It just should help us out during the playoffs, okay? Islanders. Boom. 3 wins in a row. Keep it going, Minnesota. Boom. Almost at 60 wins here. Keep crushing the Central Division. Boston, lose against them. They had to... I don't even want to talk about the finals last year. It hurts too much. 3 regulation losses, Minnesota. There we go. Jeez Louise, don't do this to me. We whooped Detroit, obviously. God, why? Don't start losing games. There we go. We're almost at 60 wins. We're fine. We're A-okay. We're good. Another regulation loss. It's been a bad month so far. But another loss. Cool. And 61. There we go. We can hit 64 if we play our cards right. Keep it going. We probably clinched the President's Trophy. Leon Albertschauser has been hurt in the AHL. Wow, he has an injury problem. A legit problem. And we finished the season 64-16-2, 8-1 victory to end the season against the Nashville Predators. Great season. It's just kind of automatic for us at this point. 71 goals for Anthony Francis. Woohoo! Man, oh man. We will be playing the St. Louis Blues in the first round, but first, to end this episode, I want to check out the stats for the regular season. I want to check our power play, all that jazz. First, I want to see where did Detroit finish, second in the division. It's another first round pick. I'm not too upset. 64 wins. It's a President's Trophy, no doubt about it. Goals for, almost 400. Goals against, not too shabby. 35% power play. 79% penalty kill. It went up. That's huge for us. That's good. That's good. That's good. Good. So, the Minnesota Wild. Anthony Francis with almost 140 points. He's an absolute machine. Is there any doubt about that? He is going to hit 800 goals next year. Crazy to think about, right? Man, even if he has his worst goal-scoring season, he'll still hit it. Just nuts. 139 points. It's one of his best seasons ever. Actually, that's his second best season ever. So we obviously did something right. His third. Oh wow, he had 86 assists. Wow, that's a mouthful. 86 assists. Man, oh man, that was rough. Petrangelov with 114 points, 58 goals. What else is there to say about these two guys? They've been intertwined their entire careers. Guy is a machine. Almost 700 goals, almost 1,500 points. Cale Newman almost hits 40 goals. He was a -1. Second line did get better overall to end the season. 94 points for Cale Newman. It is a contract year. That scares me a little bit. Connor McDavid with 82 points, almost a 30-goal campaign. This is probably his last NHL season. Coming over here to Minnesota to try to win a Stanley Cup. Or another one. I'm not sure if he's won one so far. Good season for Connor McDavid. He's almost at 2,000 points. Damn, what a guy. Hudobin with 75 points on that first line. He's getting better as he ages. That's what I like to see. Harrison Hayter takes a little bit of a dip on that second line. I know he kind of Connor McDavid and Newman took away from him, but I think overall it's going to help him playing along those two guys throughout his career. Or Connor McDavid is not going to be there much longer, but you kind of know what I mean. Gogolev with 68, almost 40 goals on that third line. Great year. Skuen? I still don't know how to pronounce that. 21 goals, 38 points, half point per game. I'm okay with that. Bobby Love with 21. Fourth line seemed to get better. Kreider. He did have a great plus-minus. He was really good defensively. How is his takeaway to giveaway ratio? Did I miss it? Really good. So he's really good defensively. Maybe we debate changing him to a two-way forward. He's got the shooting stats, but maybe he'd make a better two-way forward. Nicolishin wasn't terrible in his last few games with us. 4 points, +1. Maybe he helps us out. It's just a trade, just to help us out. You never know. Defenseman, Brant Clark hits a point per game. For, I don't know how many years in a row it is for him. Has to be a few at this point. What is it? 3 years in a row. Wow, what a season. Maybe he contends for a Norris. Quinn Hughes with 73. He's at 1,373 points in his career. He's closing in on that first place all time. He's only 150 points away, 100, 200 points away. He can do it, but he has to stop aging. Bissonnette with 68 points. He did slow down, but it was only a matter of time. Great year for him. That might be his best season ever. 68 looks to be the best at... Oh, yeah, that is what I love to see. Even better than his junior stats. Harry Parrish with a great end of the year. Grossman, 15 goals. 87 overall now. +44. Enlund with 5 points. +6. Maybe he gets better, maybe he doesn't. You never know, but a great year from the defense. Goaltending. Christian Pettersson had 52 wins. 12 losses, 1 OT loss, only 1 shutout. Not the best regular season stats, but he won a crap ton of games. Greiba, 13-5-1. Probably not our backup next year. He is a minor starting goalie, so we know the starting goaltender in the AHL is going to become our starter potentially very soon in the NHL. You don't know. You never know. It's NHL 20, and EA hates me. Remember when we got reverse sweep in the finals last year? Haha, I do. Goaltending, and he has the most wins by a lot. Best goalie, by far, Simic of the Winnipeg Jets. They're drafty too, so good for them. Coming off a contract year. Ugh, Arseny for the San Jose Sharks. Screw you, die in a fire. I hope you get hit by a car 62 times once. But that's just me. Rookie skaters. Who leads the league this year? Dante Miller, former 19th overall pick. He's a top 6 forward. I thought that said top 9. Linzen. Oh, it's going to Miller. They're the same amount of points, but he has 34 goals. It's going to him. Dryber, Wiseman, Arizona. You bunch of turds. Drafting another top tier prospect, and I had to go and steal Langweeder from me. That hurts. Defenseman, who's winning the Norris? Cale Makar is probably taking it home. For the second straight year, it's his award. 36 years of age, it's probably his trophy. It's whatever. Gustav Fantenberg had 46 goals as a defenseman. Calgary, you're doing something right over there. Surprising. $17 million? That's a lot, but it's probably worth it. Okay, now the real question. VR Ross, who's taking it home? Oh, Vadim Slychuk by 1 point. That hurts. Vadim, I want to see you in the finals this year. You know what? It's whatever. It's whatever. Anthony Francis doesn't need that trophy. He's the best in the world, and he knows it. Most goals in the league. Zenit Corvo by 1. Vadim Slychuk number 2. Anthony Francis with 71. All in all, we didn't pick up any individual trophies, but we were great. It's another President's Trophy season. We know we're the best in the league. Oh, we know we're the best. For I don't know how many years in a row, just dominant. But it's been a long enough episode. If you stayed around for this long, episode number 100, thank you so much for supporting this channel. We're almost at 500, so if you know of anybody that likes NHL 20, franchise mode specifically, because I post every day at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, maybe shoot them a message and be like, hey, this guy has goals. You gonna help him? Thank you so much. Thank you guys very much. Thank you guys so much. Like, I keep saying that, but it's so true. If you've enjoyed this episode, leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.